Hello everybody, Crazy Logics here, and interestingly enough, one of the first videos, or maybe even the first, might have a video or two in front of it on this channel, is going to be an unboxing because Christmas was good to me and I picked up a few things and changed the way I've done some recording. Had been recording everything with my phone, which was wonderful because my phone does a good job, except I was always having to stop it, break up all the files, and I'm having to video edit it all together, which is taking tons of time because I'm not a video editor kind of guy. But I did pick up some webcams, and I got another one here for some other stuff, and was able to make it to where my computer monitor's in front of me now, and I can see what I'm recording much better instead of having to stand up and look down on my phone. So anyway, this is kind of a little unboxing. Like I said, Christmas was good to me. I got a new computer monitor, which is up there, and that's helping me be able to record all this. And I picked up a couple of cheap webcams off of the Facebook Marketplace. But my wife and kids stuffed my stocking with one of these little economy kits that I desperately wanted of tweezers, precision tweezers that are anti-static and non-magnetic. They may get magnetized. I'm not sure if they're, well, let's just see here. No, they're not sticking to my magnet. Oh, well, maybe a little, but anyway, I've already used these. I had to fix my youngest son's headset, and so I was able to use a pair of these, and it was really nice to be able to do it for the little bitty tiny headset wires. But I really bad been wanting some precision little tweezers, and all I've had was these cheap dollar store ones that I kind of wrapped in some shrink wrap to help insulate them from shorting stuff out and everything. And these are going to be nice. Got curved, got all kinds of different nice pointy ones, some really narrow ones and stuff. This will help with other repairs, doing repairs on little bitty surface mount things like this Rockford Fosgate BD series power supply board. So that was one thing I got. And I got the monitor. Now I ordered these. These are not Christmas, but my wife gave the blessing. This is something I've been needing. This is just an economy multimeter probe set. I have been hurting. There's the regular probes. This is what I really bad want it for, and these the Pierce style tips. This one is kind of nifty. It looks like it probes from each side. I don't know. I got to check it out. Didn't really care there. I was really looking more for the clip style to be able to clip onto stuff, because all my multimeter has had is just standard probes. And then to be able to, on the ends of the regular probes here, put these, which are the Pierce style. It's also got the big clamps here. All of this is wonderfully nice, but the Pierce style that's got the really sharp little point for probing, and it's insulated here. In some of my videos you may have seen I've taken some pieces of shrink wrap sometimes and I'll slide them. I've made them go over my tips here so that I have a little less chance of accidentally maybe shorting something when I have to measure something under power. So these tips were awesome. My wife didn't care that I get those, and the reason why I had to make an Amazon order is because my wonderful parents, besides getting me a new monitor for the shop computer so I could do some of this, bought me a new soldering iron, and it was better than my old one. You watch some of my repair videos, you'll have seen my old one. That this soldering iron is at least 20, if not 25 years old. It was a Popular Mechanics back when Walmart carried that brand. 30-watt soldering iron. It's getting hard to find replacement tips that are quality Most of these little screw-in tips now are such junk quality because the soldering irons are so junk that they wear out real quick. I've got a bunch of them that are nubs from cleaning them back up on the grinder and with a file to be able to solder a little more delicate. But when I need to solder on something really tiny, this tip just is not cutting it, and I needed an upgrade. Well, they got me a Weller, and they got it from Home Depot, and it had changeable tips, and it was all well and good, except when I got it, it was missing its whole handle part. It was a station style with the adjustment knob and everything. So I went to exchange it, and they gave me a store credit card, and went over to the other ones that were on the shelf, and they'd all been opened, and they'd all been used. And so I was like, well, heck with that. I want a brand new one. I'm not going to take somebody else's problem or something that somebody bought, used, and then returned kind of thing. So I was like, no big deal. I'll just go on their website and either order one or see what else they've got. Well, Home Depot actually had, on their website only, a soldering iron that I really, really wanted. And I thought, man, I could get that. But I looked it up on Amazon. It was $15 cheaper on Amazon. So Home Depot's supposed to match Amazon's prices, but there's a caveat. They'll only match it if it's supplied by Amazon itself, and this soldering iron was not. So, you know, my wife looked at me and said, well, just go order it anyway. We'll use the Home Depot card. You know, we own a home, so we are constantly have to do home repairs and improvements. We're gonna be able to use that money on that card to fix something. So no big deal, and going ahead and slightly upgrade just a little bit and get the one you really was the entry-level kind of pro model. And so I got my Hakko FX 888D, and that's all thanks to my parents getting me that original one. So thanks, Mom and Dad. Appreciate it. Anyway, there's a reason. Let's see if I can. Yeah, here we go. There's a couple reasons why I picked this one. Watched a bunch of the reviews, Dave at EE Blog and a couple other websites and stuff, talking about this one. It's more powerful than the old 936, which there's a bunch of 936 Chinese clones out there that I could have got for about half the price of this, about the price of that Weller. But in a lot of the tests I've seen, this little thing right here, faster thermal performance and recovery, and Dave shows that in his EE blog, this thing recovers really, really, really well compared to all the knockoffs and stuff. So I wanted to go, plus it uses the T18 tips. You can see on the back there, I guess we're upside down. The T18 style tips, which are available, huge tons of knockoffs. And so I did buy a knockoff set, the Shine Now, on Amazon. And I read through all the reviews of all the different knockoff tips. And the reason why I picked this one was because of a couple of reviews that said that these actually fit fairly tight on the ceramic heating element, which is what you need for good thermal conductivity. And so the people were pleased because they did heat up well, and they allowed them to do lots and lots of solder joints and take advantage of actually having a good soldering iron. So I ordered that. Now, I got that because I needed some tips to be able to experiment with. I need some others. This is missing two of the tips that I know I want to get, and I'll probably get genuine Hakkos for that. That would be the small pointy style like this one. If you can see, let's get it up here in the wide area. This style, but that is curved. It'll have a curve to it. A lot of them use that. And then these conical style, see if I can get that in there where you can see. These are the conical style. They got a smaller one than this that a lot of people use a ton of for surface mount repairs and stuff. And I'll probably buy the genuine Hakko of it because I'll be using both those, I assume, a lot. And so having a really good Hakko or high quality Hakko tip would be important. The others, I'm gonna, if I end up using one a whole lot, then I'll probably end up ordering that style in the Hakko. But I know that cheap tips are terrible because, like I said, for this cheap old style soldering iron back in the day, you used to be able to get this. This was nickel clad or ironclad copper, and it was really good. And now all the ones I've picked up just disintegrate so fast with use that it's just, you know, you can't be using it all the time. It's great if you only need it once every 6 months to solder up a few things. But this soldering iron will be going to my oldest son. He does repairs on airsoft tool guns and stuff for him and his buddies, because they got a bunch of them that they play, and they use them so much they tear them up and everything. So I did get him a new sponge to put in here, and he can have the copper Brillo pad, but he'll be soldering up some connections and stuff. He'll be able to use that. But thought I'd kind of do a little unboxing. I'm so proud and so happy to get this. So, like I said, I did order the pack of cheap tips. Got my stuff. And we will test fit. I'm actually going to go through and read this. One of the few times in my life I will. So, there we go. So what's some of the things that I really liked about this? It's supposed to be fused. If you've seen some of the E-blogs gripes about the new Wellers that are not fused, you know, burn down your house kind of thing. Don't want that. We do a bingo kind of fun Christmas thing at my wife's family's, and somebody had put a 4-pack of these in different colors from IKEA. They're little plastic bottles, and so I'm going to be using them. I got to test and see if they'll hold acetone. And I'm sure they'll hold isopropyl alcohol, but you know, I've got this one for my sponges and stuff. So already, so a couple nice little things I got there during our fun time for Christmas. That's going to go there. Let's see if we can get that into there. Oh, well, like Dave said at the EV vlog, the only thing about this one that's not nice is that it doesn't expand like these old ones did when you first got them. So, you know, you add your dangerous chemical here, and it just gets wet. This one's already slightly damp, I felt, as it came out, so they've already expanded it. Whereas if you watch this one, it's going to grow like crazy because it was all dried and compressed. Ta-da! So satisfying, and it really is. Have a nice new one. So like I said, I got the Hakko. Man, that thing's got some heft to it for as small as it is. That was some of the other selling features. Really small, compact design. Take up less workbench space. Like I said, the other big thing being I think that takes the whole heating element out. I don't want to do that. There we go. Here's the tips, and there's the ceramic heating element. Now that's the factory Hakko one. We're going to see right off the bat if these shine down do fit a little tighter than some of the other cheapos. I don't know. Let's see. It's got a little bit of wiggle. Yeah, it feels like it's got more wiggle. Not near as good as the genuine Hakko. And that's just going to be the size they bored through. This is only 10 bucks. Like I said, it allows me to test some tips that I want. You know, and I'm not testing them for necessarily their thermal efficiency or anything else, but for the point size, whether or not they get in there and can do the things I want. So whether or not I want a knife blade style, like I said, these conical tips, that next size down is important. One of these that has got the bend on it and stuff. But I wanted to go ahead and grab a pack so I'd have some to test and to switch around when I was trying to do some things. That, you know, for what I bought this pack for, you can buy one Hakko tip. Sometimes not even one Hakko tip. So it's good to start out. I won't recommend the Shine Now as far as being perfect fitting then, because these do not. I'm sure their tolerances are just way off the charts compared to what Hakko requires theirs to actually be made to. So it will be fine. Like I said, I'm going to send this soldering iron to my son. I'm going to read the instructions. Hope everybody had good holidays, and you should see some videos popping up because I am teaching myself video editing. So this is great. Like I said, I got my new stuff here, my new soldering iron, my new monitor, and that allowed me to set up for better recording and hopefully be able to on the next stamps that I do or next electronics that I do, should be able to get them recorded and punched out into a video format really quick, compared to using my poor phone. Plus I use my phone for other stuff. I've got some apps on here that I use for electronics, help you identify surface mount components and stuff like that. So it's handy to have my phone just over here to the side where I can punch some numbers in and get some information. So okay, well, I hope everybody else had a good time. I am also going to do a video, probably a whole series, about how to kind of set up your first little lab bench, because I don't have all the fancy stuff. You know, I've just accumulating it, getting nicer things as we go here and stuff. But you can, you know, build your own little power supply out of computer power supply. You know, use an old cheap thing. You can buy one of those knockoff 936 soldering irons to get started. My hot air rework station, which I should be able to kind of show you here if I switch to scope focus. A little hot air rework station, and you know, that one's a cheap one. So all kinds of stuff, and you know, you're gonna have to get an oscilloscope eventually if you want to get serious about this. But I'm thinking about also trying to get one of those little cheap oscilloscopes, the kind of look like a tablet that's got some hookups. They don't do really high power. You can't get the lowest end one because they won't handle the voltages that you need to make sure. But I'm going to look into one of those, maybe if I can get one cheap enough to see if it'll work like a good old-fashioned oscilloscope does. And we'll do a bit of video series on that, so you can have kind of set up your own little workstation if you want to get into fixing a few things and teach. You know, if you're interested in electronics. If you're not interested in electronics, you know, just a good old-fashioned soldering iron to fix a few broken wires every now and then on toys and stuff is good. But slowly building up your stuff if you'd like to be able to fix a little more. A lot of people end up having to replace charging ports and stuff on laptops or phones or anything else, so it can be really handy. So like I said, thanks for watching, and I'm going to finish setting up my new toys and get back to work and do some video editing. Have a good one. Bye.